Start off by saying camp is one thing in itself. It's hard enough as it is, so we don't really look into teams until we get closer to game week. So during camp, we're trying to work on our technique, refine ourselves, install stuff before we can even look into the opponents. So it's kind of hard to say that because Virginia Tech's only 5 weeks away that it kind of gives us motivation because we have to work on ourselves before we can even go and try to put something together on the field.
But being a West Virginia native, you of course grew up knowing the Virginia Tech rivalry. Do you ever find yourself talking to your teammates about it, about what this means to the state of West Virginia?
Well, we actually did a big series on team. We have team on our wristbands. We have team everywhere in the facilities, and about toughness, effort, all-in, mountaineer mentality. And so, of course, we had some stuff like that when we got in towards like the history of the state, but not a whole lot of individual talk amongst teammates about Virginia Tech and themselves. I mean, we talked about it as a team. Like I said, the traditions, being a Mountaineer, what it's like being in the state. But there's no small talk. There's no cliques talking about Virginia Tech right now. We're starting to dive in this week.
Looking at the depth at the defensive line, do you see that coming around now? Do you see the backups beginning to step in there, and do you feel comfortable with them being ready to step in for you to come out?
Absolutely. I think it's all coming full circle now. Guys that we had to get on at the beginning of camp, guys that were struggling, they've picked it up. And like I said, I mean, of course, the coach is going to put out there who they want to start off the game, but I think that anybody who comes out, who goes in to replace, I think that they can all handle themselves. I think that the coaches have done an adequate job of preparing them. I don't think there's as big of a gap between the first team and the second and third team as there has been in previous years.
Do you guys take umbrage? Do you use that as motivation sometimes when you guys have been singled out as, boy, that defensive line really is going to need some work this year? Do you guys kind of feed off that?
Yeah, Coach talks about it a lot, actually. He's like, he actually said something at practice the other day, and instead of being like, oh, well, who is that guy? He wants us to be like, wow, who is that guy? He wants us to really take over the game now because all season it's been a focal point that we don't have any starters returning. We have graduated 3 seniors last year, and so we want to make it a point of emphasis this year that we're not the weak link in the defense, and we want to be just as strong as everybody else. So we're making it we talk about it like, hey, look, we're the ones that you win or lose games with the line up front, offensive, defensive line, and then defense is supposed to win championships. And so big, it's a pretty big level for us to compete at. And so I think that we make a pretty big emphasis on trying to stay up to par, if not exceed, than what we have in previous years.